Right now, the United States Central Command is recommending a new wave of surgical military strikes against Iran. In response to this, Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei issued a very specific ultimatum. If the United States attacks, American forces will be buried in the Persian Gulf. To understand the weight of that threat, look at the geography. The entire standoff hinges on the Persian Gulf, and its exit, the Strait of Hormuz, a narrow 21-mile stretch of water. Iran's military doctrine relies on this geography. They rarely initiate direct conflict, but they use the natural bottleneck of the Gulf as a lethal defensive shield for their domestic nuclear and missile programs. By weaponizing the Gulf's natural bottleneck, Iran has set a precarious trap at the world's most sensitive geographic threshold. There's a serious question about whether the U.S. is even equipped to launch those strikes right now. Former NATO Commander General Wesley Clark recently provided a sobering assessment of American military readiness. This chart visualizes his claims. During recent operations, the U.S. fired between 850 and 1,000 Tomahawk cruise missiles. Clark estimates this used up nearly 50% of the active Tomahawk inventory. Defensive capabilities took a similar hit. The military exhausted roughly a third of its high-end ballistic missile interceptors, specifically the Patriot and SM-3 systems. Even more critical is the damage to the THAAD network. Clark points to a 50% reduction in THAAD inventory and heavy damage to at least one highly specialized AN/TPY-2 radar, a system crucial for tracking incoming ballistic threats. The numbers paint a clear picture. For all its global reach, the United States has burned through the specific high-end munitions required to decisively win a sustained conflict in the Persian Gulf. Replacing these assets is a slow process. High-end defense systems are difficult to manufacture quickly and require massive multi-year budget allocations. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin recently addressed this reality in the Senate. He assessed that the military requires an injection of up to $1.5 trillion just to fund a potential second round of conflict and begin the multi-year process of rebuilding. While Washington navigates years of budget approvals, Tehran is moving quickly. U.S. intelligence suggests Iran has unsealed its bunkers and is rapidly redeploying its intact missile stockpiles. This creates a difficult asymmetrical dynamic. The United States is reliant on expensive, currently scarce offensive weapons, while Iran commands deeply entrenched, highly mobile, and rapidly deployable defensive systems. This financial and logistical imbalance is Iran's most effective weapon. By making the sheer cost of replenishment so high, they have effectively priced the United States out of a quick surgical strike. Even if the U.S. could afford the military price tag, the true cost of a strike would be paid by the global economy. A prolonged conflict in this region guarantees severe, immediate collateral damage across the planet. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has issued a stark warning regarding the catastrophic consequences of closing the Strait of Hormuz. This map shows a dual blockade scenario. The U.S. blockades Iranian ports, but Iran can choke off the entire strait, stopping all international traffic. This closure triggers cascading failures beyond the coastline, stalling energy, manufacturing, and global food markets. A localized skirmish is geographically impossible here. Any kinetic action immediately jumps borders and transforms into a weapon of mass economic disruption. Recognizing that their economies would be the first casualties, long-standing American allies in the Middle East are prioritizing self-preservation. This was visible when the United Arab Emirates made the decision to break away from OPEC, aiming to protect its independent oil interests, rather than adhere to the collective's goals. This shift suggests that as the risk of a regional conflict increases, the cost of loyalty to the U.S. is becoming too high. When the U.S. cannot guarantee the stability of the Gulf with its current forces, allies are forced to prioritize their own economic survival. We are left looking at a precarious deterrence paradox. The United States finds its options restrained by an exhausted arsenal, while Iran ensures the stalemate holds by keeping the world's economy hostage. The very next move in the Persian Gulf will not only redraw regional maps, but it will fundamentally break the global economy.